the question for me is, who am I starting things off with? So if you guys are unaware, I believe Kaku has also confirmed this, that I believe that this is, obviously with this beta, this is the final beta, and then we are going to be well on our way for the release. So I think in terms of, there was talks about the open beta and what, technically this is the open beta, I'm just going to clarify that right now. This is technically an open beta with limited spots, but yeah, Kaku has also confirmed this. Apparently this is going to be the final beta, and then we are well on our way for release. I did double check the pre-registration. Yeah, we're nearly there, boys. We're nearly there for the CN side of it. Global is still at $250,000, but I'm hoping that will go up. I also noticed, like, in terms of the rewards, the final 2 reward spots are bad. Like, they're trash. What the frick? Can we get these updated? But for the most part, up to here is kind of the same as to what Global has it, of course. So anyway, just kind of wanted to throw that in there because I thought that was super weird. But anywho, in terms of starting off the game, what SSR is it best to start off with? Who is going to be that SSR unit that kind of is a universal character? That's my picking of what character that I want to start off with, of course. And I think it's fair to say that that said character will be Urahara. So if you guys don't know, he is a support character. Realistically, in any team you put him on, he can work with that team because of what the support play is for this man. I do have his weapon card, which is fantastic and heavily needed, I will say, because this makes it so that I can capitalize on applying more buffs for my team. As it states, each time a branch attack is released from Urahara, that is, an additional sword energy is generated. This sword energy can also add 1 layer of spirit analysis. Now that is the key thing on what we're looking out for. When it comes to Urahara using his branch attack, when it comes to him using his skills, whatever, he will apply a buff being called a spirit analysis. And what this is that it affects the whole team because it gives them more attack damage, basically more attack power. For each stack, I believe it's 10%, and I think you can stack, yeah, so you can stack it up to 6 times. Branch attack damage multiplier increased by 15%. So Urahara, as he's a support and as he's buffing his team, he himself is gaining other means to do some additional damage himself. So as a support to pack a little bit of a punch, can't go wrong with that. So his weaponry is very nice. Unfortunately, I will say I don't have his main card, which is unfortunate. But again, as I've stated, looking at it previously, we do have Urahara's full set. So the whole team is getting an additional attack power of 9.2%, of course. And then again, with the higher rarity, because it's only 3-star, keep in mind there's 4 stars, there's 5 stars. I want to say that maybe the percentage play will go up. It should, even with leveling up, I'm pretty sure it should. No, leveling up will level up the stats, my bad. Yeah, hopefully with the 5-star, maybe the set stats that do go up, of course. So obviously there's more that's been added for the team. Again, all supports can technically use Urahara's set right now, but with his skills and what he does on his kit, again, it's universally beneficial. Going furthermore into his kit, like I stated, with his passives and whatnot, you know, because he has that spirit analysis buff, or token, if you want to call it that he can stack up. That's the key sell for this unit, by the way, because it's so easy to kind of using and very consistent. You can have that consistent amount of buffing. I believe so it's on for 15 seconds when it comes to you being able to stack up the solid analysis. So it's a 10% attack power increase, of course. I believe it says 3-layer here, but because we've got the weapon, it's a 6-layer now. So yeah, team attack goes up by 10%. So that with the stamp kit that we've got with Urahara, again, it kind of adds on with the amount that we can kind of buff up with our whole team, of course. Also, you've got to keep in mind that even with his skills, he does apply a little bit of a taunt, so you can kind of preoccupy the enemy, get your team situated. What I mean by that is you get Urahara, you buff up, you get Byakuya out, get his battlefield skill going, go into Ichigo, and the enemy is still kind of stuck and taunted in the middle. So you've got time to kind of build up your whole squad ready for Ichigo to come in and do some good amount of damage, of course. Going into the ultimate play for Urahara, of course, when activating that, he then gives the team a critical hit damage bonus of 27%. Again, you level this up, it goes up a little bit more. Urahara himself gets that critical hit bonus himself, so that's fantastic on that part. And then, of course, it is a 15 seconds limit on that. He does have things in place where he can charge his ultimate a lot quicker, because he's got a good efficiency through his cores and whatnot. So having that consistency through the analysis token being built up alongside him having his ultimate ready to rock and roll one after another, yeah, when it comes to the support play, it's going to be pretty consistent, which is very nice. Again, universal. Went into his dupes again, straight off the bat, you know, you do get a little bit of a buffing. So I mean, even by getting that initial dupe, that will go a long way to getting that additional 10% right there. That's for the solid analysis. So I don't know why that says damage reduction or whatnot. That was a horrible translation. It's more so being able to do more 10% more damage. But anyway, the final dupe is the one that I hope they change, because basically what it is that Urahara gets a 10% increase on critical hit rate and critical hit damage. If they could change it to where the whole team is affected by this, including Urahara, this would be crazy. So that's one thing which I'm hoping for, that they slightly change up, of course. But for the most part, yeah, they are kind of keeping him as he was before. But yeah, in terms of what we're looking at with the characters that we get, obviously with the free Ichigos that we get, the Uru, of course, and whatnot, the best bet will be to pull for Urahara, because again, he'll fit in any team. You'll get those buffs going, which will then support your main DPS or sub DPS or tacticians, whatever you're rocking with. And that will then kind of keep you coasting, keep you going up until you actually pull the big DPS behemoth characters, of course. So I think when it comes to the official release, and then obviously when global drops, I don't know about you guys, but I think Urahara will be the most valuable character, just because of how much of a universal character that he is. But yeah, just kind of going through the SSRs, I'm just trying to think of, right, what's going to be the best outcome in terms of when the game starts. Like, what character holds value to where I can be like, right, I've got this one specific unit that at the very beginning of the game that I'm going to invest a lot of time into, that I just want to be kind of universal. So that way, in terms of me building my teams, I've got this one set character ready. So it kind of eases off a little bit in terms of what I need to work into. Because obviously I do want to make my yellow team, my blue team, my red team and whatnot. And like, for example, right now with my account, outside of Byakuya and Ichigo, of course, the next team I can now craft, because I have Urahara, is going to be the yellow team, right? I've got Tozen, I've got Uru. Technically, I've got Renji too, so my yellow team technically is there. But yeah, just kind of with Uru and Tozen together with Urahara, that's a team sorted. The orange team, still waiting on that. Still need to. Well, I haven't really looked. Well, yeah, I don't know if I want to work with them just yet, of course, but it's something that I'll look into. I don't even know how long the beta is out for, so that's something that I need to kind of look at. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at is that by having Urahara at the ready and then having that high investment into that man, it works out beautifully for us to be able to set him up with multiple teams and just kind of easing off that pressure of having to work on 3 characters when we can just focus on 2, because Urahara is a universal support unit for all sorts of teams, of course. And then, of course, as his kit states, you know, he himself can gain a little bit more damage in his branch attacks, obviously get that crit damage going on. Like, he holds some good damage himself, can't deny that, of course. And of course that taunt with kind of focusing the enemy in one area, again, can't go wrong with that. So if you've got some AoE characters, then again you can really benefit from that, of course. So I think that is going to be my personal game plan. I think that will be an advisable game plan for those that are going to be getting into this game, of course. Again, for future notice for the global side of things, I think that is going to be the best plan of action. But yeah, I think Urahara is going to be, like, let's just say there's a chance for us to pick an SSR characters, or let's just say there's a banner on release where we can select an SSR of our choosing. I think at that given moment I would highly advise to put Urahara on the #1 hit list, to be like, get that man, and then you are literally smooth sailing with team building with whoever, so you could just throw him on to whoever, and yeah, the buffing is just going to be beautiful for the whole squad.